for me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to the 2019 NFC South preview and projections react video live. We're going to talk about this division, and I've already put out my video earlier in the day so you guys could have a chance to look at what I think is going to take place in this division and go ahead and comb over it so you can get your thoughts together and then come up here and chop it up with me live and talk about this division as a whole. And so that's what we're going to do now. And so I'm going to give you guys the floor. I've said my piece. You know how I feel about this division and what I think is going to take place. And so now I'm going to allow you guys to tell me what you think is going to take place in the NFC South division. So with that being said, I am going to pull up the live feed. I'm then going to open the floor for the calls, give you the number, and then we're going to turn this thing up. And this is usually my most lit division when it comes to trash talk and, you know, back and forth banter. I don't know if it's going to be that way tonight because of the circumstances. Obviously, this isn't what you're used to from me. Don't have all the bells and whistles tonight. And I've been having issues with YouTube the last 48 hours, but I'm not going to stop. The party don't stop. So here we are, chopping it up, talking about the NFC South live here on the Louie T Network. And I'm excited to see what you guys have to say about this division and what you expect from these teams in 2019. And so, with that being said, here we go. Going to pull up this video. So, I am almost there. And just for you guys who are out there watching, here's the number right here so that you have it. All right. There's the number. We're going to talk about this division here in a second. And I'm trying to pull up this video. I'm having all kinds of trouble finding it. And I got it now, finally. So we in there. All right. So phone lines are open. Once again, here's the number. NFC South. Looking forward to chopping it up and talking about this division. Got a call. Going to go ahead and take it. Missed the call. So, again, phone lines are open. Numbers here. I will leave the number in the chat discussion so you have it. Once again, so if you need the number, you'll have it. So that's the number right there. All right, you guys have at it. Got a call, gonna go ahead and take it. You're on live with your man, Louie T. Who am I speaking with? All right. You're on live with your man, Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
Man, Protect Sports, man. What's good, bro?
What's going on, Thomas? What's good?
I just trying to catch some live streams before I go to sleep, man. That's it.
All right, bruh. All right, so before I let you have the floor, let me quickly recap what I have going down in this division so that everybody is aware of what I think is going to take place. And I will periodically throughout the night give you these records once again. Since normally I have it across the screen, I don't have to continue to rehash it because you can see it. But because I don't have all the bells and whistles with me tonight, I'm going to have to continuously do this throughout the night. So I've got the Saints finishing in first once again, 10-6. And let me say this before I give you all the records. I think these teams in this division are going to beat the hell out of one another. This is a tough division, and I think all of these teams are going to beat the shit out of each other. Let me just get that out of the way right now. So 10-6. So we're not talking 12-4, 13-3. No, I just said all these teams gonna beat the hell out of each other. So that means the winner of this division is 10-6. All right. The Falcons are gonna finish in third. Behind who? The Carolina Panthers, who are gonna finish at 9-7 with a 4-2 mark in the division. The Falcons also 9-7, but they're 3-3 in the division. So by virtue of winning the divisional tiebreaker, the Panthers finish in second, the Falcons finish in third, and then the Bucks bring up the rear at 6-10. They're 2-4 in the division. They're going to be in a lot of ball games. I think they're going to be vastly improved. The record may not indicate that, but they're going to be in some goddamn ball games. They just aren't going to win them. That being said, hey Tones, the floor is yours. Talk to me about the NFC South and what you see happening in this division in 2019.
I kind of got the same outlook you have. I did watch the preview video today. I've kind of listed things on my blog about that also. I think the division is very competitive. They go like you said, quote unquote, they're going to beat the living shit out of each other. It's going to get ugly in the NFC South. That's what happened. The NFC South is one of the most competitive divisions in football.
I agree.
All so close, and their family business is family business. That's real family business. I don't want to hear that NFC South bullshit on these other damn divisions. There's some real family business over in the NFC South.
I agree. I agree.
So I do have to say win the division. I got them winning one more game than you had, 11-5.
Okay.
I got the Falcons finishing second. I think hopefully they'll be more healthier than they were last year.
Right. Absolutely.
That shit was a train wreck week one. I felt so bad for them. They lost everybody damn up week one.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's not happening this year for them. I got them finishing 9-7. Had the Carolina Panthers in third at 500. Got the 8-8. And then I have the Bucks run up the rear at 4-12.
Okay.
Well, I do think they're a young team, and young teams don't know how to win.
Yeah.
You know how that goes.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that, man. I look at this division. Let me ask you this. Now that you've given out the records, you got the Saints finishing in first at 11-5. Do you see any of these teams in this division as a potential Super Bowl contender?
I want to give it to the Saints, but I have to see I have a couple question marks with the Saints, specifically their running back position. I want to see who can outside of Alvin Kamara, who else can step up for them?
Yeah.
And running back. They lost Mark Ingram in the offseason.
Yeah.
And then they could have had a couple backs late in the draft last couple years. I want to see who could step up in the run game outside of Alvin Kamara. Because Alvin Kamara, he's a really good back. I love Alvin Kamara. I think Kamara is an amazing back.
Right.
Is he a 3-down player? Don't know. For 16 games, I don't know.
Right.
It's a question mark for me. Also, Breeze at 40 is these older quarterbacks are setting a new precedent given, but can he continue to do what he does at age 40? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I want to give it to the Saints being a Super Bowl contender, but I have a couple questions about them. So if I were to give an answer right now, I'll say no.
Okay. If there's one team in this division, I think it might be the Saints. I don't want to sleep on the Panthers though. I feel like I gave them 9. And you know, Cam is coming off the injuries in the shoulder surgery, and they're taking it slow with him. And I feel like something keeps telling me the Panthers are going to be one of those teams that, you know, could easily win 11 games and be a dangerous team this year. But it all revolves around the health of Cam Newton. If he's not healthy, they can't do it.
But it all depends on Cam, so
Yep.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Because McCaffrey's a beast.
Yep.
Defensively, they can get after you at all times. You know, Carolina will stay with a top 10, top 12 defense most of the time.
Yeah.
So it depends on Cam.
Yeah, I'm with you on that 110%. So, hey Tones, before I let you go, watch the video, loved it. I just need more, bro. That's it. It's real simple. I just need more. All right. So for those of you who don't know, my man Tones started his channel, Protect Sports. Hey, I don't have to do this. You're on the phone. Pitch your channel, man. Tell them where they can find you. Make sure they sub up and like your channel, man.
I appreciate it. I started a channel about a week ago. I have a couple videos up. I have a quick little NBA video up. And I have analysis of the NFC, AFC East divisions. You can find me on, you look at Protect Sports on YouTube, man. You'll find me. or you can look me up at youtube.com/protect428. That's actually the actual webpage you can look me up on. I also have a blog, Protect Sports, on Weebly.com. So if you guys have any questions, you have a comment, you already subscribe, you know what I'm saying, turn on post notifications, I appreciate it. And thank you, Lou, for promoting that. I appreciate my dude. More content coming this week, Lou. So,
all right. I'll be on the lookout. I'll be on the lookout for sure, bro.
All right, bro. Good looking out, man.
No doubt.
Thank you, bro.
Hey, take it easy.
You too, bro.
Yep.
Right up. Cool, man.
All right. So that's the number right there. If you want to call in, NFC South, we're talking about this division. Tones has the Saints winning the division at 11-5. He's got the Bucks bringing up the rear, and he's got the Atlanta Falcons coming in second, and the Carolina Panthers coming in third. So I think that's going to be, somewhat of the consensus. You may flip-flop the two teams in between in Atlanta and Carolina. It wouldn't shock me if you had Atlanta winning the division. It wouldn't shock me if you had Carolina winning the division, because I got these teams separated by one game in the division, and so anything can happen. I'm looking forward to this division. Everybody knows my sister is a Falcons fan, a massive Falcons fan, so there's always a little extra for the Falcons. I'm always keeping an eye out on them, but the Panthers are a dangerous team when Cam Newton is healthy. We saw them get off to a 6-2, 6-3 start last year before the shoulder really started to become a problem and an issue. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch the All or Nothing on the Panthers, but it was a fascinating watch. And I think when I look at that team, I got a call. I'm going to go ahead and take it. Don't have a call. But when I look at that team, I just see a team that they added some pieces that I was a huge fan of. I think they made some really good additions to the team at the receiver position and a number of different things. So I think the Panthers are in a really good spot. I like their football team. And I think Cam Newton, when he's healthy, he's a dangerous guy. And North Turner coming in there as their offensive coordinator changes things. I just think they're a dangerous team. And the Falcons, as Tone said, if they can stay healthy, that's my biggest thing with them. If they can stay healthy, they're going to miss Tevin Coleman. I'm a Tevin Coleman fan. I think he's going to do big things in San Francisco. But I look at their roster. If they're healthy, they're another team that's scary. Defensively, they were all kinds of banged up. It started in week 1 with Keanu O'Neal going down, and then it spread itself to week 2 with Deion Jones going down, and it just snowballed from there. They couldn't stay healthy. They got to stay healthy. If they do that, I think they'll return to a level of consistency on that side of football. And then they fixed the offensive line, or at least we think they did. Like Caleb McGarry is dealing with a heart issue already, so they really don't know when he's going to be ready to go. There are some encouraging signs as to him getting back on the field, but anytime you start talking about somebody's heart, I always get nervous. So they tried to take steps to fixing the offensive line. They brought in Carpenter and a number of guys. What they showed me in the offseason is that they want to be a much more physical football team. They want to run the football. They want to protect Matt Ryan. And if they can do those things, you can see the Falcons return to a team that's winning double-digit games and making the postseason and making a little bit of noise. So with that being said, here's the number right here. All right, I'm going to get into this chat real quick since I have no calls, or now I have a call coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and take this call.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's your boy Archangel checking in.
What's going on, Art?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, bro. Talking your division, NFC South, and I gotta know, what do you think is gonna happen in this division?
First of all, I just got to say, man, I don't like how you disrespecting my team. I like you, Lou, but I don't like how you disrespecting my team like that.
So tell me.
What'd you say?
I said, tell me how I'm disrespecting your squad. I need to hear it, man.
Oh man, you got us going 9-7 for real? Come on, man.
Again, like I told the Raiders fan.
We got way too much talent on this team. Go 9-7 this year, bro.
Look, so like I told the Raiders fan, I hear you, and I hear you loud and clear. But I look at the schedule, and I found you 9 wins. Now, you could get 10 or 11, potentially. If the ball bounces your way, you stay healthy, your team is talented enough to win 10 or 11 games. But just off the strength of this schedule and knowing the Falcons like I know the Falcons, you're going to lose 2 or 3 games that you ain't got no business losing to teams you ain't got no business losing to. And then you got some tough games on the schedule. Make matters worse. So, of your losses, I got you losing 7 games, as you already know. At Minnesota, you're not winning in week 1 at Minnesota. You're not doing it. Okay? That's a loss.
Now, that's a game that I can actually, believe it or not, I actually can see us winning that game. But go ahead, continue.
Okay. At Minnesota, you think you're going to do that? If that was at home.
Yes, because the last time they played us, they beat us in Atlanta. So I think we owe them one.
Okay.
I think even though, they got a good defense and all, but Kirk Cousins.
Hey, look. Hey, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, Art. Watch your mouth. Okay.
I am not on the Kirk. I am not on the Kirk hype train. I'm not on the Kirk hype train. But go ahead.
All right. So the next week, I got you beating Philly on Sunday night. You owe them from last year. Okay. Yeah. So they come into the crib and you go A-Town stomp them. So that's you 1-1 now.
Okay.
At Indy the next week after that.
I agree with that one. Okay.
At Indy. At Indy the next week after. You could go into Indianapolis and win. I don't see it happening. But you can win there. I just don't see it happening. If Andrew Luck's healthy, I don't think you're going to win that game.
That's the first. I'll give you that. Now, that one, I might give you that because I think Colts is a good. That's where our first loss might come at. I'll give you that. I might give you that.
Now, you're not going to agree with this.
Winning that game, too, though.
Exactly. I can see you winning that game. You're not going to agree with this, and you're not going to like this, but I got you losing to the Titans. I got you at home to the Titans, okay?
Yeah.
So
I can see that being a trap game, like you said.
Yeah.
But I think we should handle business at home. I don't see us losing to the Marietta. I just don't see that happening at home.
It should.
Titans. I just remember the Titans now.
Yeah.
I think not.
I think not. You shouldn't lose that game, but those are the types of games that y'all lose. Those are the ones that I look and I say, "Come on, Atlanta, what you doing?"
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. We do lose games like that from time to time, but I don't see that this year. That kind of thing going, but I get where you're coming from.
So I got you at this point. You're 1-3, bro. Not a good look, right? Then y'all get hot after that. So now you at Houston. So you go on the road and you beat the Texans to save your season, right?
Yeah.
So that momentum, you take it to Arizona. They're gonna be a young team, but they ain't ready to win. So you go to Arizona and you beat them too, right?
Yeah.
After that, now see, this is how you know I believe in y'all. The Rams at the crib. Y'all gonna beat them.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be a tough game, but I think y'all are capable.
We can sneak that.
Anytime Seattle done got y'all owe them one. They coming to the crib the next week after that. I got y'all winning that game.
Yeah, I think we can beat Seattle, but Seattle, I mean, even though I think Seattle gonna be a pretty good team this year, I still don't think they got as much weapons. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I think we should beat Seattle.
So right there, after that, you go to your bye week. You go to your bye week at 5-3. All right. So this is a good start to the season. 5-3. Going into the bye, you come out the bye. You at New Orleans. You going into the Superdome and winning, man.
Okay, that's a tough game. Now, I ain't gonna lie.
Look, I don't even. All right. All right. I don't even want to hear that. All right. All right.
Gotta be realistic.
All right.
They probably gonna beat us.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to hear. That's all I wanted to hear. I just need you to be real with me, because you know as well as I know, y'all ain't going in the Superdome and winning. But there's a but there. All right, they ain't gonna sweep y'all like they did last year. That ain't happening this year. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that one in a second. So then you at Carolina. I gave you the dub there, man. I gave you the dub on the road at Carolina. All right.
Now, I can see us beating Carolina, but I can also, I think, like you say, I think they're much.
I think they're gonna be good this year.
I'm gonna be realistic.
Don't worry. All right.
I can also see us losing.
Yeah.
I hope we win, and I think we can win, but
hey,
I can also see us losing that game. But go ahead.
Hey, all right. Don't worry. Don't get you back in Atlanta. So don't make it seem like I'm giving you a sweep or something like that. You just gonna go into Carolina and win. Then see, I know you ain't gonna like this, but Tampa gonna beat you at the crib.
Oh hell not. That's definitely not them. Hell, to the now.
I know it's been a while since they beat y'all, but is it like 9 in a row or something? It's bad.
No, that's definitely not happening.
Hey, it's a different team, man. It's a different Bucks team, man.
Yeah, I know this. I hear this.
Hey,
they got a different coach.
Yep.
I still don't believe in the hype though. But I hear where you're coming from. They got the new defense.
Yep, it's a lot of new, it's a lot of fresh and newness there, man. And with that fresh and newness comes a new day in playing the Falcons. So we'll see if that happens or not. He said, "Oh hell no!" All right. So then Thanksgiving, the Saints got you last year in New Orleans. Y'all owe them a little bit for that. So y'all gonna get them back on Thanksgiving, and y'all gonna take care of business at the crib on Thanksgiving versus Saints.
We owe their ass.
Yeah, exactly. So at this point of the season, you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're 7-5 now, right? So now, final 4 games of the season. You win 3 out of your 4, you're going to get to 10-6, you're going to get in the playoffs. Can you do that? We're going to see.
Okay.
Panthers at home. You beat them earlier. I don't see you sweeping them. So it don't really matter which way you dice this. If you want to get them the one in Carolina and you get this one at the crib or what, you want to flip-flop them, you ain't sweeping them, though. I don't see that happening. So
okay, that could be realistic. I can kind of agree with that. That might happen.
So
I can kind of give you that.
I gave you the loss here because you got the one earlier.
I think they're gonna be better this year. I will say that. I think they're gonna be a better team this year. If Cam stays healthy,
right,
they'll be a better team.
Then at San Francisco, I got y'all taking an L on that one. You might not like that one.
That's a tough one.
That's gonna be a tough game, man.
And half and high. I can also see us going up in San Francisco and beating them.
Yep.
Because they ain't really got no wide receiver thread there. I mean, they got a tight end. They got our running back.
Yep.
They got,
Yep. He gonna wanna do y'all too.
What you say?
I said he gonna wanna do y'all too. Watch.
Yeah, he gonna wanna play hard against us.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can see us sneaking that game out.
And your old boy Kyle Shanahan is over there too. Don't forget about him.
Yeah, we gonna see. Yeah, he might try to get some revenge or whatever.
That's right.
But I don't know, man. I think we might be able to.
That's the one right there. If you can win that game, you'll get to 10 and you'll get in the playoffs. But then you got Jacksonville the next week at the crib. That's a tough one.
We getting that. As tough as that's gonna be.
I got you getting that.
That's gonna be a tough one too, but I think we can beat them.
I got you getting that one, and then I got you getting Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay to finish up the season.
Okay, yeah.
So
that's
how you get to 9-7,
yeah.
bro. I mean, you could beat San Francisco, that'll get you to 10. You could beat Indy, that could get you to 10. You could beat Tennessee, that could get you to 10. But I got you at 9-7. So we gonna see if y'all can get the double-digit victories. The main thing for y'all is health.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Y'all got to stay healthy, bro.
But I think our record can be, realistically, I think our record could be like 11-5, something like that.
Okay. So
possibly 12 if we, play hard enough, 12 and something. But realistically, I say 11-5.
okay, that's a perfect segue. So now I want you to tell me what you think is gonna happen in this division. You said 10-6, 11-5 for your boys. What are the Saints gonna do? What are the Panthers gonna do? And what are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers gonna do this year?
Now that's gonna shock everybody. That's how I see it playing out. I think it's gonna be like us, like 11-5.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers gonna finish in second. I see the Panthers finishing in second, like 10-6, something like that.
Right.
10-6, and I think the Saints. This is what everybody gonna be hating on, and they ain't gonna agree with me on. But I think they're gonna finish something like 9-7, 8-8, something like that.
Okay.
This year, because they're gonna, it's gonna be a fall because of that no call. They still crying over that. So
right.
they crying over that. So, they still hurt. And and the Bucks, I see the Bucks finishing at 5 and something, 7-9 or something like that.
Yeah.
They might be a little bit better this year.
Right. Okay. Hey, look, you're not crazy, bro. You're not, because your division is that, your division for years, remember the same team would never win it 2 years in a row. it was crazy for years, and then the Saints just got hot, and
Yeah.
at some point they're gonna cool the hell off. Is that this year? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be this year, but you're right. They ass been crying for too damn long. They even got the damn rule changed. That's how much they was crying and shit. So
Exactly. And I mean, as good as Breeze is, I give Breeze his credit. He's a good quarterback, but I mean, he's declining, so he's getting older.
yeah.
He's old man Breeze now. He's getting a little older now, so I mean, I don't know.
Guess what, Art? Guess what? That don't mean a goddamn thing with Drew Brees. Some of these dudes, that shit don't mean nothing. All right. So we'll see, man. But hey, it's always a pleasure chopping it up with you. I know I'm always gonna get you to chime in when it comes down to this division and your Falcons, man. And I always have fun getting up with you. So, man, appreciate you chiming in. Look forward to chopping it up with you during the course of this season. And hey, stay up, man.
Oh yeah, already.
No doubt.
All right.
All right. So that's the first call from a Falcons fan tonight. There may be more. I don't know if my man B3 gonna call in or not, but I know there are many more of you out there that are fans in this division that I'm looking forward to hearing from. So we'll see if this division turns out to be different this year. You heard my man Art say he's not going to be surprised if Carolina rises up. Speaking of rising up, he has his Falcons winning the division. No surprise there at 11-5. But also, boom, there goes the number right there. He has the Falcons at 11-5, but he has the Panthers, not the Saints, finishing in second at 10-6, and the Saints falling down to third at 9-7. So that's really interesting, but it's not far-fetched. That's what I keep trying to explain to people, is that this division is so competitive. These teams are gonna beat the shit out of each other. I sincerely mean that. I think this is gonna be a really competitive division, and I think 10 wins, because of the amount of beating up on each other that is going to take place. This is gonna be some serious family business this season. I'm looking forward to it, man. If these teams said they ain't did it, then they ain't did it. But if they did, that's family business, and it's gonna be some family business conducted in a very grotesque and physical and nasty manner in the NFC South. And I think the winner is the team that survives in that division. And I think they're going to survive with 10 wins. And I think it's going to be the Saints. But it wouldn't shock me if that was the Falcons, or it would shock me if it turned out to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That'd be the only team in the division that if they won it, it would shock me. So with that being said, let's get to some comments since nobody is calling in. What up, Reed? Atlas says my Bucks are going to be back in it this year. Hey, feel free to call in and tell me why. I don't buy that, Atlas. Colts fan says, "What's up, Lou? What do you think my Colts have a legit chance at walking into the dome and stealing a dub?" Let's see. I have you. No, I don't. I think I got the Saints going undefeated in at the Superdome this year. Like I said, to me, there are three teams that have a legit shot at going 8-0 at home: Saints, the Seahawks, and so I got them going 8-0 this year. So, do you have a shot? Yeah, because you got Andrew Luck. You got a shot to win every week. But I don't see you going into the dome on a Monday night. Nah.
That's good.
What's up, Nick and Knight?
Not much, bro.
All
I
right.
think the Saints are gonna win the division again. I think they're gonna go like 12-4.
Okay. Saints at 12-4, win the division.
Yeah, I got the Falcons at 10-6, but they're gonna miss Coleman a lot, so they're gonna have to rely on Ito Smith a lot, because that man's Freeman never healthy.
It seems like it, man. He didn't play at all last year.
Yeah, I had him on my fantasy team.
So you felt the sting of that last year, boy. That hurt.
Their receiver core is nice, though. They got Julio, they got Sanu and Ridley. Ridley's about to go in this year.
Yes. I was surprised at how nasty he was in his rookie season. There was a little stretch there where he was just eating defenses alive. So, with Julio on one side, you can't double both of those guys. And Ridley is a dude can definitely get off. So their receiving core is definitely nice. The problem was the offensive
Their
line.
secondary ain't too bad either. Like, always thought Trufant was pretty damn good. Trufont's nice, and
Yeah.
Keanu Neal is good too.
Yeah. Healthy. Again, they got to be healthy.
Yeah.
Trufant's missed his fair share of games, so, Keanu was out most of last year after getting hurt in week 1. So it just got to be healthy on that side of football. I like their defense a lot. They just got to be healthy.
Licks on people, bro. He's pounding you.
Yeah, that's his game right there. That's what he does. So you got the Falcons at 10-6. Do they make the playoffs at 10-6? You don't know about that.
I don't know. I'd say probably. Yeah.
I got one team coming out of this division because I think 2 are going to come out of yours. I think there's a chance
we about to win. We're about to win the division next year.
You think so?
Yeah.
We're going to see.
I think even though it's off topic since we're talking about the NFC South, but I think our offensive line about to be it. Even if I don't even care if it's like not real good, even if it's just average, we're good. Because you think about it, we was one damn field goal away from going to the damn playoffs with this piece of shit. Daniel Carlson couldn't hit 1 out of goddamn 3 field goals.
You had a lot of that last year, man. You had a lot of nonsense.
We have a lot in training camp right now too.
That's not a good look at all. But
yeah, freaking Dan Bailey missed like in the first 3 kicks, he missed 2 out of the first 3.
Hey, you got to get that fixed now before it becomes a problem. You don't want to be the Bears. You don't want to be the Bears.
Yeah, I've been there before when we played the damn
Seahawks.
The game.
Yeah. I remember. Trust me.
Yeah, chip shot.
Yeah, I remember.
Like 26 yards or some shit.
So you got the Saints at 11-5, or did you say 12-4?
The Saints.
Yeah.
I said 12-4.
12-4, 10-6 for the Falcons. Not sure if they're a playoff team at 10-6. What do you have the Panthers doing?
I got the Panthers. Panthers is hard. I didn't know if I wanted to make them 8-8 or 7-9. I am somewhere in between there.
Okay. And then what do you got for the Bucks?
I honestly think the Bucks is about to be trash, bro. I got them in like 3 games.
They're not going to be that bad, man. No way is BA going to come back and they're going to regress.
Their secondary is so damn young, and it's like
it is.
Not one of them is even that good. Like Hargrave was supposed to be solid. He's not even that good. Then you got Carlton Davis. This man is trash.
I'm not as down on them as you, but you are absolutely right. You can't get much younger than their secondary.
It's like their offense got weapons, but Winston is trash. I don't like Winston. Yeah, I think Winston's a garbage.
I actually like Jameis. I just think he needs some guidance, and that's where BA comes in at.
That man was over there roasting my boy Kirk Cousins. I'll take Kirk Cousins over Winston any day.
I'm a Kirk guy.
You gotta look at it though. This man Kirk Cousins is putting up like 4K all the time. This man ain't never had a damn run game in his life.
I can't argue with you there. I'm a Kirk Cousins guy, but if you're talking upside, I take Jameis. Jameis just does stupid shit, not just off the field, but on the field. Jameis one of those dudes that he'll throw a left-handed pick. Like Jameis doesn't like giving up on plays, and so he's prone to doing stupid shit. And you're just like, hey, Jameis, just eat that, bruh. Punt. It's okay to punt.
He forces too much.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Instead of like throwing it away and taking on to the next play, he'll just hum it in there and try to make something out of nothing. Like he do too much.
Yeah, I just think that BA will be a calming influence on him, and it'll help him. I just don't know if it'll convert into wins in the first year with BA being there. But I think they're gonna be in some ball games, and it wouldn't shock me if they won more.
Anything but the worst in the division. I can't see them being like 3rd, 2nd, or I can't see them being anywhere.
Me either. I'm with you on that. I don't think they're as bad as you do, but I agree. I can't see that unless Cam Newton gets hurt like week 3. You know what I mean? Something like that. Where the Panthers, because they're Cam Newton. The Panthers are Cam Newton. They might as well be called the Cam Newton Panthers. Because
that's people like Cam Newton dirty. Just because he's built like a damn linebacker, they be making this dude take some shit.
They treat him like the NBA used to treat Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaq would get fouled all the time, and they wouldn't call it.
LeBron guy, they be doing the same damn thing to him. He get hammered.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're built like a damn Ford truck. They treat you like you're invincible.
I'm sure they about to do the same damn thing in the NBA for Zion too. They about to do the same thing to him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I hope they don't do that to him because he's not as big. Like it's not like this dude's like 6'10". He's like 6'6", 6'7". You know what I mean?
I think that would be hella overhyped too, to be honest.
I'm a Duke guy. I know you're a Carolina dude. I will not stand for your blasphemy up here. All right. So I'm gonna stop you right there because you about to overstep your boundaries right now, and I see it, and I'm gonna dead it right now. I see where you going with that.
He's straight, bro, but like his jumper is all right. Like it ain't nothing crazy.
No,
Sure, hit a lot
he's
of
got time though.
amount
He's
of
got
threes,
time.
But like when you got contested from the three, bro, he ain't making them in the NBA.
Hey, look, I'm not doing this with you right now because we could turn this into a whole NBA conversation. I'm not doing that with you. Hey, Nick, man, only with you would I do this. But hey, it's always a pleasure talking to you, bro. Always, 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 man. Thanks for the support and continue to support, man. I'll get up with you.
Always, bro. Have a good one.
Likewise. All right, so only with my man Nick can we start talking NBA up here, man. Got me going sideways with the convo. And you know, I go off on a damn tangent. I do it all the time. So y'all got to keep me on the straight and narrow. And so back to the damn NFC South. All right, here we go. Here's the number. Call in. Oh, got a call. Gonna take it. You're on live with your man Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
BE.
What's going on, BE?
Well, for starters, my phone's being stupid and dumb, and I didn't even know they went live yet.
Hey, look, man, don't feel bad because this is a different format because YouTube was tripping. They was trying to hold your kid down, and I couldn't go live the normal way. I was dropping frames like crazy. I didn't want to put y'all through that, so I was like, nah, I can't do it. And I was in jeopardy of not being able to go live again tonight. And then I had a epiphany. Light bulb went off. Bro, you got to, it's 2019. You got a damn cell phone, bro. And people go live all the time off their cell phone. I'm like, I might as well do that. So I know a lot of y'all didn't get the notification because I did it in a different manner, and I apologize for that. But I said I had to get this done. So hopefully we'll be able to do it the regular way moving forward. But I'm glad you found out I was live and you're chopping it up with me now. So what do you think is going to happen in the NFC South this year?
Honestly, so I think it's the Falcons division lose. They're the more, in terms of head coach talent, they're the best out there. Wrong. The Saints too. I completely had a blank on there. I thought the Saints were in a different division.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a two-team race, the Saints and Falcons.
Okay.
I want to say the Saints play the Falcons, I think, week 16 or 17. I can't remember. It was somewhere, one of the last, I think, 4 games or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever wins that game, I think, wins the division.
Right.
The Panthers, I just don't trust Newton's health anymore. He's been injured the last, 3 years now?
I know 2
3 or
for
4
sure.
years?
I don't know if it goes back that far, but I know 2 for sure. He's been banged up the last 2 years for sure with the shoulder.
Yeah, he had his back injury
Yeah.
and then his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So I honestly think I could see the Panthers going 7-9,
Mm-hmm.
8-8 because of Newton's injury, and they don't have a capable backup.
Right.
I like the Bruce Arians hire for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Being a Cardinals fan,
Right.
I'm very familiar with Bruce Arians.
Right.
I'm very familiar with Todd Bowles for their defensive coordinator. So I know what they could do.
Right.
And whether it be Jameis Winston, whether it be one of the receivers, whether it be a defender, Bruce Arians will rip into his players. He will get in their face and just tear them a new one.
Yeah.
But when they make good plays, he's going to let them know.
Yeah.
I do see the Bucks being better in terms of being in games, but I could also see them finishing maybe 6-10. 6-10, 5-11. I don't see them doing worse than 5 wins because I know what Bruce Arians can do. They signed Dayon Vitane, which I wanted us to keep
Yeah.
Dayon. As far as wins and losses, I could see the Saints and the Falcons both going 12-4.
Wow.
I could see the Panthers going 8-8. They could do worse. You
Right.
know, if Newton goes down, they could drop like a fly.
Yeah.
And I see the Bucks going 7-9.
Okay. Wow. 2 12-4 teams. That is
It could be.
yikes. Okay. I didn't see. I just think these teams are going to beat up on one another, And so I just can't see anybody getting to 12 wins because of the parity that's going to take place in the division. Like the best record I have in the division, in order to go 12-4, you've got to legitimately be 5-1 in your division, more than likely. You might be able to be 4-2, but that means the rest of the league, the rest of your games, the other 8 games on your schedule, you can only lose twice. That's tough to do. So theoretically, if you're going to win 12 or 13 or 14 games, you got to be really good inside the division. And I just think these teams are going to beat the hell out of each other in the division. I can't see any of these teams winning more than 4 games within the division. I've got Carolina as the only team in the division winning 4 games in the division. And they still only finish with a 9-7 record. That's how tough I think this division is going to be. So 2 12-4 teams, that is startling. But anything's possible. And the Saints showed us last year that they're capable of winning a bunch of games. We know the Falcons, when they're right, they can be as good as anybody in the league. We've seen them do it before, but I don't know, BE. We'll see. But I like you think that Arians is perfect for that team. I think he's going to do wonders with Winston and some of those guys. I love Todd Bowles. I know you do as well, as a defensive coordinator. And so I think they are going to be much better, much improved. And like you, my man Nick and Knight came on earlier and was like, 3-13. I can't see Bruce allowing, BA isn't going to allow them to lose, 13 games. It's just, I can't see him allowing that to take place on his watch. No worse than 5-11, like you said. I got him at 6-10, and that might be a little low. I think he could easily squeak out another win or 2 and get him to 8-8. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, when we hired him, we went from 5-11. His first year, we traded for Carson Palmer. We signed Stanton. We went 6-10. We went 10-6.
Yeah.
So we did a complete flip flop with our record. Talent wise, I don't think the Bucks have the same talent we had at that time.
Right.
But I could easily see him getting to 8-8.
And your division wasn't nearly as tough as theirs was at that time.
No, ours was just no holds barred basically back in that day, back in like 2012, 2013.
Right. It wasn't until 2012 when the Seahawks got Russell Wilson, that division just came alive. You know what I mean? That's when the 49ers got good. That's when Kaepernick got into the league, I think 13. And then that's when it started to explode, but
and that was a year where we went into Seattle and won for the first time.
I remember with Drew Stanton doing the dance on the sidelines. I remember that.
No, that was, I think, 2 years later.
That was okay. That's the one I always remember. You were the first team to beat them in Seattle. They hadn't lost in like 2 years in Seattle, and you were the first team to go in there and beat them.
Axed them.
Yeah, and then I remember the Drew. I love the Drew Stanton dance on the sideline. That's my favorite one. That was always my favorite one, where he gets runs like halfway down the field and then does the little. I loved it, man. Hey, BE, appreciate you calling in, man. It seems like a stream isn't a stream unless you call in. So you missed the last one. Good to have you back on this one, man.
I'm still waiting for winners and losers, so the real bet can start.
Hey, look, man, you already laid down the gauntlet, bro. So everybody has been put on notice.
If anybody that's watching the stream wasn't here for the NFC West, the gauntlet I laid down was that I'm taking the Cardinals to win every single game. If I do not finish first, whoever finishes first, message me on YouTube, and I'll buy you a jersey of your choice.
And when you're talking to the person that's going to beat you right now, I mean, I can give you what I need right now.
Hey, April Fool's until April.
Good one. Touche, man. All right, BE, man. You enjoy the rest of your night, man. We'll catch up.
You too.
Yep. All right. That's my man, BE, doing what he does best, talking NFC South. Normally, he's an NFC West guy, but he's making a special exception for us tonight, and he's talking NFC South. That's the number if you want to chime in on the NFC South division. Let's get to the chat discussion, and got an incoming call, so I will go ahead and take it. You're on live with your man Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Louie T, this is Steve Man JP. How's it doing? How you doing, man?
What's going on, JP?
Hey, it's good to hear from you. Sorry I got on a little late. I got off work not too long talking
Hey,
about just
bro,
sitting down.
it's all
to
good.
eat dinner and play some Madden.
How you like the Madden 20, man?
Oh, I love it, man. I'm playing my team, the Redskins. I got my boy Dwayne Haskins as a starting quarterback.
Is he trash on the game?
Yeah, I love it.
I said, is he trash on the game? Is Haskins trash on the game?
Oh, yeah. The music's not that bad. It's pretty good.
No. Is
Some
Dwayne
classic
Haskins?
stuff for me.
No. Is Dwayne Haskins trash on the game?
Oh no.
Oh.
He's outstanding.
Okay.
Man. This dude was throwing bombs left and right. He threw a 40-yard pass for a touchdown. He was throwing dimes left and right, man.
Okay, good.
Oh my God.
Good.
I'm not BSing, man. Not BSing.
Okay, good. All right, cool beans. Talk to me about the NFC South division. What do you think is going to take place? I know usually you have records, so give me records, give me finishes of all the teams in this division.
All right. This is going to be a pretty competitive division, to be honest. I personally think to me, it's a two-team race. I think it's Saints and Panthers.
Okay.
I think this is the year that Cam Newton gets back to full health. I'm a big Cam Newton guy. I love what he brought to that Panthers team. His spectacular season that he had, 2015,
Right.
on his way to the Super Bowl. I think he's gonna prove a lot of people wrong this year. I think he's gonna come back.
Mhm.
But I still see the Saints as the top dog in that division. You can't argue with Drew Brees. He's gonna he's gonna be wearing that gold jacket in Canton very soon. You've got the best wide receiver in football, Michael Thomas. You have one of the 5 best running backs in the league in Alvin Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
You have a very good defense that's going to get better. They're top dogs in that division. I've got them going 13-3.
Okay.
I've got the Panthers. I think the Panthers are going to win 11 games,
Okay.
maybe 12.
Okay.
Excuse me. And I've got the Falcons going. I'm going to go. Let's say the Falcons going 9-7.
Okay.
I think they missed the playoffs by 1 game. I just don't. As great as Matt Ryan is, as great as Julio Jones is, it's hard for me to put my trust in Matt Ryan. And I've got the Bucks going. I think they're going to win 6. I think they're going to win 6, maybe 7 games. I don't think they're going to be as bad as they were last year. I think they're good. I think they have talent. I think I think they have talent. They have talented players on offense. They have talented players on defense. I'm an LSU guy, and I love what they did in the draft, picking Devin White. I think he's going to be a great player for them. I know you're high on Devin Bush. I think he's going to bring a lot. And as for the Panthers, I'm a big Brian Burns guy. I think he's got all pro written all over him.
Yep.
And some of these other players, and some of these other guys coming in. And that's my record. That's my division winners and my picks. I think the Saints and Panthers are going to make the playoffs. I think the Falcons missed by 1 game.
Okay.
I think they last game of the season they just barely missed, and then the Bucks. I personally don't think they're ready yet. But in terms of the Bucks, Lou, the clock is ticking on Jameis Winston.
Absolutely.
If he doesn't succeed under Bruce Arians this year, I think this is it. He's on the last year of his deal. If Bruce Arians can't fix him, I don't think anybody can.
No,
that's my personal opinion.
You're 100% right. This is a make or break season for Jameis Winston, and they brought in BA specifically to try to fix Jameis Winston. Now, obviously, if it doesn't work, he's gonna get somebody else in there and try to be a quarterback whisperer for them. But bottom line is, they invested a number 1 overall pick in Jameis Winston. They want returns on that investment, and they think BA is the guy that can help them get that. But I talked about it on my podcast that this is the year that Jameis Winston has to show improve, or he'll be out of there. And
absolutely.
I think that BA is a guy that can get it done. So it'll be interesting. I think they're going to be in ball games. I just don't think they're going to win them. They got a very young football team, but the thing is they can be in ball games and lose close games as long as Winston plays well, and he's not the reason they lose. He may be around, but if they're in ball games and he's throwing back-breaking picks and fumbling in the pocket and doing the things we've seen him do in the past, making bad decisions with the football, forcing it into tight windows, and making mistakes, then this could be it for him in Tampa Bay, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I rooted for Jameis Winston for years. I thought he was the franchise guy in Tampa Bay when they drafted him number one overall. I actually thought that this kid was going to be better than advertised. He was good the first couple years, the first couple years when he had a very good rookie season. I think he threw for 4,000 yards, I think it was. 4,000, somewhere in there.
Close. I don't think he made it to
4,000.
Yeah, it was 3,000. I don't think he threw for over 4,000 in that year. I'm not sure,
No,
but I don't think he did.
But anyway, I rooted for the kid. I'm still rooting for him, and I think he's going to have to prove some people wrong. In terms of the rest of the roster, they've got weapons. Mike Evans is a beast.
Mm-hmm.
They invested last year. They invested the second round pick, I think it was, in Ronald Jones, and I've heard that he hasn't really turned out. I think there was a report that they were considering taking another back in this year's draft, and I don't think they did.
No.
So Ronald Jones, to me, is the guy is another player on the hot seat, along with Jameis Winston, because that running game is dreadful, and they need something, and they need the ground game to take the pressure off Jameis Winston to have to throw 30, 40, 50 times a game.
Yeah, they had the Auburn kid back there running a little bit. They like him a lot, but I was talking to my man Reed. He's a massive Bucks fan, and he said that last year they just wouldn't give Ronald Jones the time of day, and I think this year he's going to get a much better opportunity. And he said they used him wrong when they did finally give him opportunities. They kept trying to run him up the middle. He's a scat back. He's a guy that needs to get outside the tackles. So I think he's going to get a better shake, this season. But we'll see. They didn't draft it back. They instead drafted 97 cornerbacks this year in the draft. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this Buccaneers team. I'm anxious to see because I'm a huge BA fan and I'm a huge Todd Bowles fan. So I think both of those guys are awesome at what they do. And collectively, if they're able to come, my biggest issue with the Bucs on defense is they just don't have anybody to get to the quarterback. With JPP having the situation with the car accident, I just don't see them having. They drafted the Nelson kid out of Iowa, and they got the Penn State guy from the Browns. But those two are clones of one another, and I just don't see any explosion on that defense off the edge. JPP was the only guy that they had consistently that could get to the quarterback. That's where I worry about them defensively. And then they got a young secondary, so if you're not hitting home with the quarterback, so really what I'm saying is they're going to have to scheme it up with Todd Bowles to get to the quarterback. And he likes to come with pressure, but he's come with pressure in the past with corners that he could rely on in one-on-one situations. You got a bunch of young guys out there. It's the blind leading the blind in the secondary. I don't know if you trust those guys to man up one-on-one against a Julio or a Michael Thomas. I damn sure don't. So that kind of limits what a guy like Todd Bowles can call from a schematic situation. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting. Like you said, I like Bruce Arians a lot. Thought the last couple years in Arizona, I thought even though he left because of health issues, I thought he kind of got a raw deal those last couple of years. Carson Palmer wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive line was just garbage can juice. They had no playmakers outside of Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
They just had a bad last couple of years with Bruce Arians, and I love the guy.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna really get a lot out of Jameis Winston because this is it. I think this is Jameis Winston's like I said, this is Jameis Winston's make or break year. But the defense, I like what they're doing on defense. I mean, we don't know how much, but the only thing that worries me is those guys are pretty old, if I'm not mistaken. I think Ndamukong Suh, I think this might be his last team.
Yeah, this is it.
Like I think he signed a 1-year deal in
Yeah.
Tampa Bay. But Ndamukong Suh is still one of the still a very disruptive. He's not defensive tackle. He's not the same guy he once was in Detroit
Right.
and Miami.
Right.
But he's still very productive. I think he's gonna give them a little bit of a spark. The secondary is something that should concern Bucs fans a little bit. We haven't really seen a lot out of their first round pick from 2016, Vernon Hargreaves
Yeah.
out of Florida. A guy that I actually had really high hopes for. I thought he was the top corner in the draft, not named Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
But I think it's something that they got to work on the secondary. The secondary gave up a lot of big plays last year, and they gotta do something at corner. And they have some good edge presence. Their pass rush isn't very good. Their interior is okay, but their pass rush isn't very good. And plus Levante Davis not getting any younger. So I think this is also a reason why they brought in Devin White, because in the event Levante Davis either gets let go or decides to call it a career, Devin White is going to take over that mantle as the linebacker as the leader of that linebacker corps, and you just don't know how much Levante David has left.
Yeah. I mean, they're making that switch to more of I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're making that switch to a 3-4 defense, and it's going to be, those two guys on the field at the same time. They lost Quan Alexander in free agency, so they needed to add more speed to the defense at linebacker, and that's what Devin White's going to bring. And as you mentioned, the secondary was very problematic last year. They addressed it a bit with a lot of the draft picks, heavy on the secondary in this draft. I think after Devin White, I think the next 3 or 4 selections were all, with the exception of Anthony Nelson, I think they were all in the secondary. I think they took 2 corners back to back, and I think they might have even taken another safety. And it was crazy because the year previous, they took MJ Stewart and they took Carlton Davis, and then they turned around and took 2 more corners and I think another safety. So I'm like, whoa, how many dudes in the secondary could you possibly need? But it's been rough for them in that secondary, that is for sure. But AJP, man, appreciate you chiming in as always. Look forward to chopping it up with you when we get to the NFC East, which will be next week. And
I can't wait. NFC East, that's the one I'm waiting for.
And we'll definitely be live. I'll be live tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have all the bells and whistles, but if not, I'll be in this same space tomorrow watching the game live with you guys.
One last thing before I let you go.
Yep.
One last thing before I let you go. I got to ask.
Yep.
Do you think, I got to ask you, I know it's about the NFC South, but I got to ask you about this defensive class.
Mm-hmm.
What every great prospect that came out of this defensive class was they're all great, and I want to know how many of these rookie defensive prospects do you think will be defensive rookie of the year candidates? Because there's quite a few. I just got to ask, because this was a deep defensive draft class, and the Redskins were very fortunate enough to grab one of the top edge rushers in this class in Montez Sweat. I just got to ask, how many of these guys do you think could be defensive rookie of the year?
It's a number of things. You got to factor in health. Like for instance, Montez Sweat, got kicked in the calf, and so he's been out of practice the last couple of days. Hasn't, will he play against Cleveland? Jay said he may play, but he may not play. You got to stay healthy, number one. But when you look at just the talent, and generally when you're talking defensive player of the year, it's rare that it's a linebacker, but then you have a special guy like last year in Indy, with what he was able to do.
Darius Leonard.
Yes, Darius Leonard. It changes things when you got a guy that special. I don't think either one of the linebackers that went, either of the Devons, are going to have that kind of impact this year. I just don't, personally. So I think generally when you think of defensive player of the year, you're thinking about guys that have a chance to really impact the game. And that's why a linebacker can have a shot, but you got to be really, really dominant to be defensive player of the year at linebacker, or rookie of the year, excuse me. I think it's either going to be a pass rusher or it's going to be one of these defensive linemen. There were so many of them in the first round this year. None of the corners were elite. We didn't see corner come off the board until I think the first one was the one the Giants took, and Baker was the first corner off the board in the draft. And I'm not a huge DeAndre Baker fan, so I think it's going to either be an edge rusher or a defensive lineman. Bosa got hurt today in practice. I've talked about the Bosas. They're tightly wound. They're gifted athletes, but they get injured often. So kind of hard to really say what you're going to get out of Bosa. But if he's healthy, I think he's got a chance in San Francisco, because you can't just key in on him. They got other guys, Defoe, and they got D Ford and all those guys that can get to the quarterback. So he's going to get some one-on-one matchups that I think he can win. So that's a guy to keep an eye on. Obviously, you've got Quinnen Williams, who I think is a stud. And if you put him next to the other Williams on that line, and I actually think that a guy like, trying to think of the Florida pass rusher, help me out. The Florida pass rusher that we thought could be a first-round pick ended up going in the third round. What's his name? You know what I'm talking about?
Went in the third round.
Yeah.
No,
Ja'Kai Polite. Ja'Kai Polite.
Ja'Kai Polite,
Yes.
that's the guy.
Ja'Kai Polite is coming off the edge now. I think they actually got some stuff there. I really like Quinnen Williams in that defense. And
Oh, no question. Quinnen Williams, to be honest, is my top candidate for defensive rookie of the year.
I really
This
think
kid's
he's got a
blue.
shot.
This kid is going to be wearing a gold jacket when his career is over. I can promise you that. I know it's the Jets. I
Yeah.
understand it's the Jets, but this kid is built for the NFL spotlight. I think he's going to be one of the all-time greats with all this stuff.
And how can you not love the dude off the field, man? He's a walking soundbite too. So I love.
They did an ESPN an ESPN thing on him. He plays with a smile on his face. He's a nice kid.
Yeah.
The kid, I think, lost his mother to cancer a few years ago, and he plays for her.
Yeah.
She would be real proud of him. I know she's probably looking down on him right now. Knowing how proud she is of her son that he made it to the NFL.
I'm gonna tell you something else too. His brother's a badass too. Look out for his brother. He got drafted in the third round by the Jaguars. He just got hurt in camp, but I'm telling you what, his brother is a beast as well. So they got some good lineage there, and with that Williams family. But he's a guy that I think has a chance to be dynamic. I'm with you on Brian Burns as well. I think he could be a problem in Carolina, so that's another guy to watch out for. In Miami, they took the Wilkins kid. I'm not as high on Wilkins. I actually think that the Giants got the better of the two defensive tackles from Clemson. I'm a big Dexter Lawrence fan, massive Dexter Lawrence fan. So I think when it's all said and done, it's going to come down to if Sweat's healthy, Burns, Williams, and one of the dark horses, Josh Allen. There you go. That's the guy that easy to forget him in Jacksonville. I don't know if they're gonna turn him loose. I would love to know what his role is going to be in that defense, because if you watched him at Kentucky,
they're probably going to. They listed him as a linebacker at the combine, but he's an edge rusher. I think he could personally play either position. He's very versatile.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see, because this kid could play pretty much anywhere on the field, and he's built. He's built like a freaking truck.
Yeah.
If you've seen the guy, he's going to wreck offensive lines without question. That's another guy that could potentially go to the Hall of Fame one day. I know that's tough to ask, but I'm rooting for Josh Allen, and I would have loved if the Redskins were bad enough to take him. Unfortunately, we weren't, but that's another guy I'm rooting for. And I've been telling people all offseason, don't sleep on Brian Burns and Montez Sweat. And I think those two guys could potentially be a problem in this league if they're healthy.
Yeah.
If they're healthy, knock on wood.
Knock on a little bit with you.
I love Montez Sweat. I think he's gonna wreck offenses. I can't can see this kid having 10 plus sacks in this rookie season. Him and Brian Burns, without question.
Yeah, I could see it. I don't anticipate it, but it wouldn't shock me at all. But anyway, in any event, hey JP, man, appreciate the call, bro. Always a pleasure chopping it up with you, man. You have a great night.
All right, appreciate it, brother. It's good. Appreciate it, brother. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt.
All right.
Alrighty, so we have now eclipsed the hour mark. Take about 1 or 2 more calls. If I don't have any more calls, I'll read a couple comments and then we will get out of here. Colts fan, I talked about that. I don't see y'all sneaking into the dome and sneaking one away, especially on a Monday night in the dome. That's highly unlikely. Reese says Vita Vea is injured, Lou. To have an MRI on Friday, we just can't catch a break. I remember so many Redskins fans wanted Vita Vea, and I'm like, nah, I'm good on Vita Vea, man. He's all right. He's not all that great, and he hasn't really made much noise for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and hopefully this injury that you speak of is not serious. But yikes. Let's see. Protect Sports, he called in earlier, but to reiterate, he's got Saints, Falcons, Panthers, and then the Bucks. Reese says, Lou, I reevaluated Devin White. I see some of your points now that the homer shades are off. I always try to keep it 100 with you. I try to keep it a buck with you at all times, but sometimes I gotta let you guys breathe and have your moment to feel good. And then I got to bring you back to reality. And I was trying to tell you, bro, I'm going to keep it a stack with you. Entire stack. Devin White's cool. I don't think he's great, but we'll find out together, man. I'm rooting for him. This isn't about being right or wrong. I'm rooting for him. I hope he goes out and balls. I didn't see top 5 linebacker with him. I just didn't. But he also says, that being said, Lou, mark my words, here and now, if Devin White reaches his ceiling, his highest ceiling possible, he's not only going to dominate the game, he's going to change it. I hear you, bro. Loud and clear. I hear you. The guy is talented. No doubt about it. I'm just not on the side that everybody else is on. This guy is uber talented. Like, to your point that he's going to change the game, nah, I don't see that. I don't think he's that talented that he's going to change the game. I could see him dominating, but I don't see him changing the game. Reese says, we're winning more than 6 games, Lou. You really think BA came out of retirement to go 6-10? I don't, but I think the talent on the roster says 6-10 because you're young, not because you're a talentless, because you're a young football team. And young football teams lose in this league. So, and I think you just need the experience. And so I think you're going to lose some games because of it. What up, Orlando? Reese says, every single damn person is sleeping on my Bucks. Everyone's gonna know what time it is. He said, we're coming this year. No risk it, no biscuit. The old adage by BA, my man, as I like to say, Uncle BA, the cool cat with the cap, the match. BA always says no risk it, no biscuit. Yeah, it's free to call in, Reed. I mean, we waiting on you to call in all night. Ricky L says, oh man, I just lost my spot. Yeah. Ricky L says, we all know that once quarterbacks get hit by Father Time, they fall off real quick. Yeah, that's what we thought until Brady is now going on, 41 now? 42? Silver V says, does the league MVP come out of this division? That's a good question. It's very possible. A lot of people made the push for Russell Wilson earlier when we did the NFC West. So Atlas says, this might be more of a podcast question, but how much do you think coaching matters? A lot of the optimism for the Bucs is because of Bruce Arians. Is it justified? Yes, it is. Now, it is not just Bruce. It's what he brought with him. bringing Bruce meant, hey, you get Todd Bowles too. It's a package deal. Bringing Todd Bowles means you get guys like Dion Buchanan to join on board. These are all entities that don't come to Tampa unless BA was there. So it's not just BA by himself. It's all that BA brings with him. You know BA is going to coach up your quarterbacks, and he's a quarterback whisperer, and he's going to get this offense going in the right direction. But B, because of what he brings with him in terms of Todd Bowles, now you got a chance to take a collection of guys that I don't think have elite written all over them and turn them into a formidable defense, something that you haven't been in quite some time. And that's why bringing BA is more than just him getting the offense going and getting Jameis Winston playing his best brand of football. It's also all of the stuff that he brings with him, most notably Todd Bowles, and the chance at having a defense that will actually keep you in ball games and not play you out of them. Got another call, gonna go ahead and take it. You're on live with your man Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
That's Ricky L.
What's up, Rick? I know who you are now. I got your ass this time. What's going on, man?
Yeah, just chilling, hanging out.
Hear that, bro. Glad you're here chilling, hanging out with us, man. So talk to me about the NFC South. How do you think this division shakes out in 2019?
All right. The Falcons are going to win the division. They're going to go 11-4-1.
Whoa, so you got a tie in there. I think that's the first time in program history somebody's thrown a tie in the record. Look at you, man. Look at you setting records up here, making history. Shit, a tie. Okay, so 11-4-1 for the Falcons. Win the division.
The Saints will go 10-6.
Okay.
I think it's Breeze time. I think he's just going to fall off at the end of the season.
So let me ask you this: is that 10-6 good enough to get them into the postseason?
Yeah, I think they'll be the 5 seed.
Okay, got you.
The Panthers, I don't know. They're just weird. They don't play really good on the road.
Yeah.
And then, last year they just down the stretch they just fell off. And I don't know.
And like I said earlier, and I think a couple of the callers kind of piggybacked off of this. It's all about Cam Newton's health with them. When he was right last year, they were winning football games. You should know. They put up 21 on y'all in the fourth quarter. Came back from 17 down. I had to do that. I'm sorry.
I almost broke my phone during that.
So yeah, they last year they had some things going for them on the road and at home. And then Cam got injured, and it just kind of spiraled out of control after that. So they're very interesting. But again, I think if Cam's healthy, look out for the Panthers this year. I'll say that. But what do you have them going? Because you didn't give me a record.
9-7 for the Panthers.
9-7, okay. That's what I have them doing too. And then what do you think the Bucs are going to do this year?
The Bucs are going to be competitive.
Right.
If I had to, compare it to anybody, just think of the Browns last year, where they were at the end games and, pretty much beating themselves, or the refs would beat them at the end of the games. They're going to go 7-8-1, and
they're the tie. Look at that. So the tie comes in the division.
Yep.
Nice. I like that. It all tied together beautifully, man. That was awesome. So 11-4-1 for the Falcons. They win the division. You have the Saints at 10-6. They come in second and get the 5th seed. So they get the first wild card in the NFC. You got the Panthers just missing the postseason at 9-7. And then you got the Bucs at
7-8-1.
7-8-1. Not bad for Bruce Arians in year number 1. 7-8-1. Just missed 500. Not bad. Not bad at all. Hey, that's pretty damn unique there, Rick. I like that. So
So
there.
You did, man, and I think all of us swung and missed on that one. We didn't see that one coming. But we were all sitting dead red fastball. Saints winning the division. He came with a curveball. Falcons at 11-4-1. Like it. Hey, man, appreciate you calling in, Rick.
All right.
You have a great night, man.
You too, bro.
Easy. All right. So, let's get a couple more comments in here. Number, guys, one final time, in case anybody wants to sneak in a call before we get out of here. All right. Read a couple more comments, and we'll get out of here. All right. Reese says, Lou, I checked out Scotty Miller because of your praise of him. Holy hell, that boy can fly. No one could catch this little guy. I'm trying to tell you, man. I can't wait to watch Scotty on the field. Ricky L says, if LeBron or Shaq were built like a Ford truck, they would have broke down already. I cannot. Hey, man, I got a Ford. I'm not going to let you disrespect the greatest American car company ever assembled, man. I'm not going to stand for your chicanery tonight. I'm just not. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a call on the heels of that. You're on live with your man, Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, this is Rob again.
Hey, what's going on, Rob?
Hi. I guess I want to close out your show. I started your show tonight, so one thing I wanted to kind of talk about was, a couple of days ago, I think you kind of complaining about the fans of New Orleans getting upset over the way they lost their playoff game.
Yeah.
And I know that you kind of were dissing on them for complaining about that, but I was talking about Super Bowls earlier today, and it's like when somebody, we both know that New Orleans actually won a Super Bowl recently, but as far as just blanketing calling fans out for their problems is like if you're like in the AFC, if you're one of the 11 teams or I guess 13 teams that aren't necessarily the Patriots or Broncos or Steelers, if you go through a game like that,
well, you gotta remember that's what the Raiders fans were complaining about with the Tuck Rule game, because that's the game that started it essentially for the Patriots, and everyone says, well, if it wasn't for the Tuck Rule game, there is no Tom Brady. You know what I mean? So that's kind of speaking towards what you're mentioning now. So yeah, absolutely.
And well, even with my Seahawks, there was 1 year that they lost to the Jets late in the season, where Testaverde was running to get to the end zone, but he was like down within the 1 yard line, but they called for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So that loss kind of threw us out of the possibility of going to the playoffs, and then in Super Bowl 40, Seattle played
The
Pittsburgh
Steelers, yeah.
and it was like the referees were so bad that Ben Roethlisberger scored a touchdown, but I think the only thing that kind of was sniffing that white goal line was line judges.
That was a horribly officiated game. I actually thought that was one of the worst Super Bowls in recent memory. It was just there wasn't a lot of action in that game. I think the score ended up being like 21-10. It wasn't a fun Super Bowl at all. I didn't enjoy that Super Bowl, and that's.
But in my case, fortunately, the Seahawks got back. But if that would have been our only Super Bowl, that'd been like, doubly or triply disappointing to kind of have that as your only fandom to see a Super Bowl. So
Let me ask you this: Is your most painful loss the Super Bowl loss a few years back?
yes, it would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that's
Well, not
agonizing.
the Patriots one, but the Steeler one.
Oh, that one was?
That was my worst That was my most painful loss because it felt like the referees, we were playing the referees too. So
Wow, I would have thought it was the Patriots one.
I was all right with that. You know, the talking heads on television were, a lot of them were saying like, you know, why didn't they give the ball to Marshawn Lynch from the half-yard line? Well, for one thing, it wasn't the half-yard line. They moved the ball. I thought he got down to the half-yard line, but they moved the ball back to the 1.
Yeah.
And another thing, it was like, you know, they only had one timeout. It was second down, and, you know, so they would have had to, you know, they would only had a chance to run like, well, if they would have thrown that pass and it would have been incomplete, they could have ran 2 straight times.
Yeah.
I'm saying, rather than, but if they would have ran that one down, then they'd had to use their timeout and only, you know, maybe
No more
have to
timeouts.
run last play anyway.
Right.
So.
I mean, I get the logic there. You know, if you're trying to, you know, get in the end zone, you
So
think.
I had no problem. I had no problem with the play call there.
Yeah, yeah, and that just was a tough way to lose that game. And I think everyone was just thinking, there's no way you're stopping Marshawn Lynch from getting a yard. Just simple as that. You know, just do the easy thing. They're giving you a chance to win this game. Just take it. And I didn't have a problem with the play call either, but I thought the easy thing to do was we called him beast mode for a reason. They weren't going to stop him from getting a yard. But
well, I would like to hope that too, but you know, it wasn't like the only time that a play hasn't been stopped at the 1.
You're right.
So.
You're absolutely right.
And like I said, with a Roethlisberger score in that Super Bowl 40, you know, people were saying, well, you know, they could have gave the ball on the next play, you know, to Bettis, but on the second down of that series, Bettis lost yards.
Yeah.
You know.
If you remember,
line,
in that playoffs, he almost lost in the game versus the Colts. He fumbled. Remember,
true,
Ben had to go
on the Seahawks game.
Yeah.
He was on second down. He lost yardage on his second down run.
Yeah, and so I mean, again, you taking me down memory lane, Rob. You always do that. You always take me down memory lane, man.
Yeah, well, that's part of what I am.
I appreciate that,
as far
man.
as this division, I'm going to say, you know, I think Atlanta's going to take this division. I think basically, you know, I'm enthused at, you know, what their offense is going to be doing. You know, now that they've gotten away from Sarkisian, I don't know what who their play caller is going to be, but I think it would have to, you know, I'm hoping it's better than Sarkisian, and I'm kind of expecting Drew Brees to take a step back.
Okay.
You know, he might have 12 decent weeks, but after week 12, I think he's going to just start, you know, losing it.
Okay.
Or I don't want to say losing it, but kind of losing a step, I should say.
Gotcha. So, are they finishing in second, the Saints?
I would have the Saints going second.
Okay.
And the Panthers third, and
The Bucks.
the Buccaneers last.
Okay. Cool. So, are the Saints going to make the postseason, or are they going to miss the postseason?
They'll miss it.
Okay. So the only team out of this division making the postseason is the Falcons.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. Hey, Rob, thank you so much for calling in, man. Like I said, I can always count on you to take me down memory lane, man. And it's a good trip and a nice stroll.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
No doubt. All right. So I forgot to do this earlier, but I want to wish my man, Nick and Knight, who called in earlier, a very happy birthday, man. I remember you mentioning it yesterday that today was your birthday, and I forgot that damn quick. So want to say happy birthday to my guy, Nick at Night. And everybody in the chat discussion, make sure y'all drop my man, Nick at Night, a happy birthday. I'm going to give you guys one final opportunity to call in. If you want to call in, talk about this division. I'm going to wrap this thing up here shortly. But I did want to make sure my man Nick at Night gets his happy birthday, man. I really, really appreciate his contribution to this channel and the brand. And so, again, if you're out there, shoot my man Nick a happy birthday. My man Nick always holding it down. So, with that being said, let's get to the comment section. I'm going to give y'all about another 2 minutes to try to call in. If I don't get a call, we getting out of here. All right, got a call. I'm going to go ahead and take it. You're on live with your man, Louie T. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, this likely phenomenon again. Lou, what's going on?
What's up, LP?
Nothing much. I was trying to catch you before you entered the stream, man. Real quick, I got the Saints coming out the division, and I got Carolina as the wild card.
Okay. What do you think the Falcons and the Bucks are gonna do?
They probably gonna fight for the bottom seller of the division. But
Okay.
I'd probably say if Jameis Winston and Bruce Arians can fix him, they may become the third team in the division. But I don't see them moving farther than that.
Gotcha.
Cam gotta have a bounce back season, and you can't bet against Drew Brees.
So my next question then becomes, are either one of those two teams you have making the postseason Super Bowl contenders?
I would probably say the Saints would definitely be a Super Bowl contender because they were literally almost there. They were literally a pass interference call away from being there. So I gotta say the Saints is a Super Bowl contender out of that particular division. But who knows? They could meet with the Panthers and they could get knocked out. So who knows? But if I had to pick somebody to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl out of that particular division, I would have to go with the Saints.
Okay. All right. So you think the Saints are the class of this division, and the Panthers, do you have the Saints winning this division comfortably, or do you think the Panthers are going to be right there?
With Drew Brees, you never know, because shoot, they could easily go 13-3 and run away with the division.
Okay.
They got the defense, they got the quarterback, they got the coach. But I will say that Carolina will be bringing up the rear as a wild card.
Okay.
I won't say they'll be nipping at their heels, but they're going to make it interesting.
Okay, got you. I feel that. I like I said, I think this division, these teams are going to beat the hell out of each other. So I think it's going to be really competitive.
So you feeling the Panthers?
I think the Panthers could bounce back this year. I've always said this, and I'm going to continue to say this. It all depends on the health of Cam Newton. When you watched them last year, they were good the first half of the season. Cam was healthy. Cam gets injured, and the season goes to hell in a handbasket. So if Cam stays healthy, as he goes, so go the Carolina Panthers. He just has to be healthy. They're taking him slow in the preseason and in camp. They're gonna make sure that he doesn't hurt himself. He's got to be healthy. If he's healthy, the Panthers could be dangerous in 2019.
I will give you one retort to your point. I do agree with Cam Newton as he goes, Carolina goes, but to be honest, he hasn't been the same quarterback since that Super Bowl loss. But the difference between him and Drew Brees is you can tell Drew Brees is doing everything he can to get back there. Cam is just hoping his team can get him there. There's a difference. At least that's what I see when I see Cam. I don't see the same person that was changing the league by storm and on the topic of everybody's lips and discussion. He's not that person no more. Could he get there? Of course. But will it be this year? I highly doubt it. That man took a lot of hits. Yeah. And like you said, he does get hurt. And he could easily miss 3 or 4 games easily. And nobody question that. But Drew is the model of consistency. Him and Tom Brady. So I got to go with the Saints, man. I mean,
I can't disagree with that, man. You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. And Drew Brees is a safe bet. I mean, until he's not doing it at a high level, I gotta say he's gonna continue to do it at a high level. So I can't put you there, LP man. Appreciate you chiming in, bro. Always good to hear from you, man.
And no problem, Lou, man. By the way, we need to do a video together too, man. Like for real, for real.
Well, hit me up. We'll figure out something.
All right, bet.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
All right. So, with that being said, let's get through a couple comments and I'm out of here. David, the real Thomas says Todd Bowles has a ring with the Redskins at safety. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. J. Camman says I have the Bucks getting the #1 pick overall in the draft. Ouch. Nick Riley says Michael Thomas isn't even the best wide receiver in his division. That's facts, but that doesn't take away from the fact that he's a beast. Nick Riley says OJ Howard, the baller man, definitely top 5 tight end in the league if you ask me. Aren't you a Bama fan? You would say that, wouldn't you? Reed says Jameis did throw for 4,000 yards. Okay, so he did throw for 4,000 yards. Pardon me. Earlier, I said I don't think he threw for 4,000 yards in his rookie season. And I think somebody else said not only did he do it in his rookie season, he did it in his first 2 years. Let me finish reading the comment. Jameis did throw for 4,000 yards in his rookie year and his second year. Only quarterback to ever have done that. Well, there you go. Oh, you're right. You are a Michigan fan. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's even worse because you're never going to win. But that's another topic for another day because you can't beat Ohio State. I'm going to leave that alone, though. Yes, Peyton Barber was the back I was talking about, the one that I talked about in Tampa that was from Auburn that I couldn't think of his name. J. Camman says Saints at 10-6, Panthers at 9-7, Falcons at 6-10. What? Bucks at 3-13. I just can't see the Falcons being 6-10. They were decimated by injuries, and everything went wrong last year, and they still went 7-9, I believe. There's no way they're going to be 6-10. I just can't see it happening. Matthew Lynch says the Panthers don't have reliable receiving options and a shaky offensive line, so I have them at 7-9. My man Matt has been talking about the Panthers' lack of receivers all off season long. Me and him had a conversation about the Panthers wide receivers. I actually think they did some good things in the offseason with the receivers, but he does not agree with that sentiment. Clean Senpai says, I have no idea why people keep saying Carolina is only going to win 7 or 8 games. People need to wake up. This is not the same team from last year. I say 10 or 11 wins at least. Again, all of that hinging upon the health of one Cameron Newton. All right. Nick Riley says, bro, if anyone would throw in a tie, I figured it would be Sean Mack. Yeah, man. I did not see Ricky coming with that curveball, man. That was a good one. Syndico, no, seriously. Syndico says, odd year equals Panthers year. Had to chime in. After the best offseason in 5 or 6 years, barring injuries, we shock everyone with the bounce back season. I love this roster. I don't think you're wrong. Again, I've been a broken record tonight. It all depends on the health of Cameron Newton. So, with that being said, let's get out of here. Jacqueline Guerrero says, what divisions are next week? Let me tell you which divisions are next week. The NFC East is next week, and the AFC North are next week. So AFC North, NFC East. I think NFC East is Tuesday. AFC North is Wednesday. And then we'll wrap up the series with the NFC North and the AFC South. So those are the 2 divisions next week. And then the following week, we finish up with the NFC North and the AFC South. So with that being said, hey, really appreciate you guys joining me tonight. I know this was a little bit off the cuff, not what you're used to from me. Hey, like I said, I had to call an audible at the line of scrimmage. YouTube was shutting the kid down, and I had to find a way to get to my people, man. And so I'm glad we had a chance to do this. Not the turnout that we would have gotten had this been a regular stream, but that's all good, man. The people that were supposed to be here were here. And so I had a great time with you guys. Love chopping it up with y'all as always. Thank you so much. Remember, if it's not your man T, it's not the best NFL coverage it could be. Hey, make sure you're checking out the podcast, Louie T Network podcast, available on Stitcher, Google Music Play, TuneIn, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course the website, louietnetwork.net. New episodes every Friday, so another episode will be coming your way here shortly. Preseason for everybody starts tomorrow. All right, everybody's going to start getting in where they fit in. Thursday, Friday, Saturday games. Hell, I think we might even have, well, I don't know if we're going to have any Saturday. We probably going to have some Saturday and some Sunday games. I don't know if they do a Monday this week or not, but preseason's here, goddammit. Football is back. I'll see you guys tomorrow. More content coming. I'm going to be watching the Redskins game live with you out there. You can join me if you want. If your team playing, I totally get it. Watch your team. But nonetheless, I'll see you guys tomorrow.